Welcome to Signature TV News. I am Charles Pius. First, let's take a look at the headlines. Federal government declares Wednesday, Workers' Day, a public holiday. Governor Mba visits Nimbo community over killings. Reps urge NERC to suspend hike in electricity tariff. On the foreign scene, U.S. Secretary of State Blinken meets with Jordan's King Abdullah II in Amman. And now the news in detail. The federal government has declared Wednesday, May 1st, 2024 as a public holiday in commemoration of Workers' Day. This was announced in a press statement signed by the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Interior, Aishatu Ndayako, on Tuesday. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunjiojo, in the statement emphasized the importance of excellence, efficiency and fairness in labor. Tunjiojo reiterated President Bola Tinubu's administration's dedication to fostering innovation, productivity and inclusivity in workplaces. The 2024 Workers' Day is particularly being looked forward to as it's expected that President Bola Tinubu may unveil the newly proposed minimum wage for workers in the country on that day. The Nigerian Labour Congress has listed 7 demands from the federal government ahead of the 1st of May 2024 Workers' Day. Aside from demanding a new minimum wage, the NLC also asks for the creation of state and local government police to tackle insecurity in the country. The Congress also stressed that state and local governments, as well as the organized private sector, must pay the new minimum wage when it is eventually approved. The governor of Enugu State, Peter Mba, has vowed that government would track down perpetrators of Sunday's killings at Nimbo community in Uzuwani local government area of Enugu State. The governor, who described the attack as a collective tragedy to the entire state, assured that the government would work with community and security stakeholders to strengthen security not only in Nimbo but also the entire Uzuwani local government area. Mba, who was accompanied by the State Commissioner of Police, Kanayo Uzuebu, State Director, State Security Services, Teresa Ebunu, Garrison Commander, 82 Division, Nigerian Army, Enugu Brigadier General Murtala Abu, and Coordinator of Enugu State Forest Guards, Matthew Obodechi, maintained that the hospitality of the people of the state must not be taken for granted. The governor, who insisted that people who have come to mingle with the people of the state must play by the rules and laws of the land, and that the situation where citizens go to bed with their 2 eyes open must end immediately. Governor Mba, who had earlier visited and condoled each of the bereaved families before holding an interactive session with the community leaders and members, promised to work on their recommendations and requests for representation in government and strengthening of their local security. He told the people that the state government will be responsible for the victims who are being treated, including those going back to the orthopedic hospital, while the kids who lost their parents in the dastardly act would be offered scholarships, and those who need job would be given employment. In a special report, Signature Television recounts the harrowing events that unfolded in Nimbo community located in Uzuwani local government area. Suspected armed herdsmen have left residents gripped by fear and mourning as they ravage the area. Here is the report. Nimbo, a community in Uzuwani local government area, has been ravaged by suspected armed herdsmen, leaving residents in fear and mourning. Comrade Raf Eze, speaking exclusively to Signature Television, recounted the harrowing event.
So a lot of mishap has befallen the community. So on many occasions, our women are being raped in the farm by the cattle rearers. So they have killed a number of our women and men at the farm. Farmers have deserted their farms. Go to Obanda now. Obanda is now a ghost of his former self. And this Obanda, that is where we produce yam, cassava, and other farm products. So the whole of Nimbo is known for production of various farm crops. But at the moment, nobody is prepared to go to the farm because of the fears of these herders. They have continued to maim our people. At the moment, it is no longer kidnapping. But at sight, when they see people coming either on motorcycle or vehicle, they start shooting them. So the current one now is that last Sunday, while our people are having funeral ceremony at the herders came to the community, started shooting sporadically, thereby killing 4 persons in that Ugujuru community. So it has been like this over the period. Nimbo as a whole, we are not safe. In the morning like this, people will find it difficult to come out, to go to their farms.
Among the victims are Oke Simon Ugu Uruku, Oke Chukwuebuka, Julius Obonna Odiegu, and Gabriel Ugwo Ezia. Nimbo's President General Clement Akachuku expressed profound sadness at the boldness of the attackers.
Between us and Kogi, there's nothing to secure us. They come in anytime and go back and kill and go back. 3 years ago, our mayor here, he ran into this place and saw where the woman was, butchered. He wept here and consoled us. The same is a syndrome. The same thing is repeating itself again. And now, not only 1 person, but 4. Last week at Iyekoro, one of our brothers was killed. There were 4 shots, but the 3 survived. He was the one that died. About 2 months ago, they kidnapped 12 of our people. One of them is here. Is Edwin here? All right. 15. 3 are non-indigenous that were doing their business, timber business in the farm. The escape route is the borderline. They have too many borders. They can go through any channel. You can't even discover.
Governor Peter Mba, accompanied by security heads, visited the community to reassure them of government support.
I want to let you know that Nimbo is not alone in this tragic act. We are all victims of this tragedy. But let me assure you that enough is enough. I don't think that we would allow our hospitality to be taken for granted. Okay? We are very hospitable people, but when we demonstrate hospitality, we expect our guests, people who have come to mingle with us, to also abide by the rules, to play by the rules, to obey the laws of our land.
However, Nimbo has consistently suffered horrendous attacks since the first assault in April 2016, when suspected armed herdsmen unleashed violence, claiming numerous lives. Ensuring the safety of citizens and their belongings stands as the foremost duty of government. It's now more crucial than ever for every community to be sufficiently fortified to prevent any disruption of peace and security. Relatives of deceased pensioners in Enugu have continued to lament over the unpaid pension of their loved ones, which has lingered for years. Speaking with Signaturetv television newsmen at Enugu South's local government, some of them tracked their long overdue pension back to the previous government, while also complaining about the hiccups they encounter as a result of the inactive verification process.
My immediate problem now is to pay me my gratuity. That is my immediate problem, to pay my gratuity. Previously, I was being paid my pension, but this exercise, it appears people, I am neglected. I am neglected. I am supposed to be, I have my credentials, I have everything. You people can say it.
My dad is late and I'm here for verification for the pension and gratuity. We've been here from Thursday, Friday till date. So I'm wondering how one person can verify like thousands of persons. We have almost 3,000 of deceased pensioners. They say that we are supposed to provide a statement of account of deceased persons. Most of the deceased persons, you can't trace their statement of account. Most of their accounts are dormant. Some of them say the banks have closed their account. They've not done BVN as at that kind 2013-2012. So and they say that it's a prerequisite for the verification exercise. So it's one of the problems that we're encountering. Many persons are going because they can't provide those things. And when you go to bank, you may not get it.
Operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC Abuja Zonal Command have arrested 13 suspected internet fraudsters in Abuja. They were arrested at the Kubwa axis following intelligence about their alleged involvement in internet-related offenses. Head Media and Publicity Dele Oyewale says the suspects comprise 12 males and 1 female. Items recovered from them include 12 phones and laptops. The commission says they will be charged to court as soon as investigations are concluded. A magistrate's court sitting in Wuse Zone 2, Abuja, has on Tuesday remanded one Godwin Alex, 28, in a correctional center for allegedly assaulting and inflicting injuries on a Federal Road Safety Corps personnel on duty. The police charged the defendant with causing grievous hurt, assault, or criminal force to deter a public servant from discharging his duty and unlawful possession of dangerous weapon. The magistrate, Sandy Oluwaseyi, gave the remand order pending when the defendant would perfect his bail condition after he had pleaded not guilty to the charges preferred against him. Oluwaseyi granted him bail in the sum of 1 million naira with 2 sureties. She said that one of the sureties must be a civil servant not below grade level 10, and the other is business person, adding that both must provide utility bills and proof of residence in the FCT. The magistrates thereafter adjourned the matter till May 16th for further mention. The House of Representatives has recommended the establishment of a dedicated fund to ensure efficient implementation of the Safe School Initiative. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, who made the recommendation on Tuesday at the resumption of plenary in Abuja, says the House is painfully aware of the harrowing attacks that have specifically targeted schools where innocent children, especially girls, are abducted. According to him, schools which should be sanctuaries of learning and safety have become targets for terrorists and kidnappers. He says these acts are not only heinous but are direct attacks on the future of Nigeria, which will rob children of their rights to education and secure childhood. The Speaker explained that the fund will support the implementation of advanced security measures and training of security personnel and communities on strategies for protecting educational environments. Abbas says that for financial requirements, the model could be piloted in a few schools, especially those that are most vulnerable to attacks. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, has approved emergency work on Dogon Gida Box Culvert, which is on the verge of collapse. The coordinator, Abuja Metropolitan Management Council, AMMC, Felix Abua, stated this in an interview on Tuesday, explaining that the minister's approval was in response to the call to renew the hope of the affected commuters, in line with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. The FCT Emergency Management Department had on April 7th barricaded the box culvert to avert loss of lives. The culvert is on the access road that links over 3,000 residents of Lokogoma village, popularly known as Dogon Gida community, to Ring Road 2. Also, the community members lose their loved ones to flooding while trying to cross the culvert during the rainy season due to the low elevation of the culvert. In the meantime, the Abuja Metropolitan Management Council of the Federal Capital Territory Administration says it will relocate Apo Mechanic Village and artisans loitering in the area to give way for road construction. Obua pointed out that the FCTA was constructing a road along the Apo Mechanic Village, adding, however, that the road has been occupied by spare parts dealers and artisans. He said that the relocation became necessary because a contract for the road construction had been awarded and work would begin in earnest. In another development, the House of Representatives has urged the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, to suspend the implementation of the new tariff. The call was sequel to the adoption of a motion by Honorable Nkem Kama of Labour Party, Ebonyi, at plenary on Tuesday. It will be recalled that NERC had on April 3rd approved an increase in electricity tariff for customers who enjoy 20 hours of electricity daily, classified as Band A users. Moving the motion, Kama says that the aim is to restore public trust, protect consumers' rights, and ensure regulatory accountability in the Nigerian electricity supply industry. He says that facts presented show that the approval granted by NERC resulted in a staggering 300% rise for certain customers. According to him, it places a strong emphasis on the legislative oversight role over NERC and the electricity utility, stressing that the need for fair and just pricing and consultation with stakeholders in tariff determination processes. The lawmakers' alleged failure of due process in approving the tariff increase, which raised concerns over discriminatory practices and disputed nature of government subsidies to electricity distribution companies, DISCOs. The House resolved to set up a special committee made up of the Committees on Power, Commerce and National Planning to convene a public hearing on price regulation. On the foreign scene, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has been greeted by Jordanian King Abdullah II alongside Jordanian Foreign Minister Ayman Safadi in Amman, Jordan. Blinken extended his trip to the Middle East after visiting Saudi Arabia. In a statement, State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller says Blinken will focus on the effort to secure a ceasefire in Gaza that will see the release of hostages and ensure humanitarian aid into the enclave continues or increases. Blinken is expected to travel to Israel following his visit to Jordan. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has been fined $9,000 on Tuesday by the judge overseeing his criminal hush money trial for statements that he found violated a gag order in the case. Justice Joan Merchan's order came as Trump's trial was due to resume in New York with testimony from a banker familiar with accounts involved in the former U.S. president's alleged scheme to influence the 2016 election by covering up a sex scandal. Trump, the Republican candidate in the 2024 presidential election, is charged with falsifying business records to conceal a $130,000 payment to porn star Stormy Daniels in exchange for her silence about a sexual encounter she said she had with Trump in 2006. Trump has pleaded not guilty and denied having sex with Daniels, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford. The historic criminal trial is the first of a former U.S. president and began on April 22nd. Roughly 24 Trump supporters rallied outside the courthouse on Tuesday morning, chanting his name and having banners that read Trump 24. A local Republican organization had called for supporters to turn out after Trump complained that few people were protesting the trial. And elsewhere, reports say a smiling, healthy-looking King Charles has returned to public duties on Tuesday. The British monarch's visit to a London cancer treatment centre was his first engagement since being diagnosed with the disease himself in February. Buckingham Palace announced on Friday that doctors were sufficiently pleased with the 75-year-old king's response to treatment for the unspecified form of cancer, and that he would be able to resume some public-facing engagement. King Charles, who has become the new patron of the Cancer Research UK charity, met patients and medical specialists at the University College Hospital Macmillan Centre with his wife, Queen Camilla. Charles' health issues began in January when it was revealed that he would be undergoing a corrective procedure for a benign enlarged prostate. The following month, the palace said tests had uncovered the presence of a form of cancer. The king has been resting and undergoing cancer treatment since then, continuing with official state duties in private. The palace has also confirmed Charles and Camilla will host a state visit by the Japanese Emperor Naruhito and his wife Empress Masako in late June. Charles's illness comes less than 18 months after he succeeded his mother, Queen Elizabeth. And that's the size of the package. Join us tomorrow for another interesting news rundown. I'm Charles Pius. Thanks for watching.